AI is like the word on everyone's lips these days.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look.
But put them together, AI and podcast. OMG, AI.
Catchy, right?
Definitely attention grabbing.
Yeah, and it tells you something about how people see AI, you know?
Definitely a sense of buckle up.
A little bit of awe, a little bit of, oh my God, what's next?
Exactly. Makes you wonder if we're ready for a podcast like OMG AI.
Maybe, maybe not. Wow, what a week, huh? The AI world just got flipped on its head. Did you see what happened with China's DeepSeek?
Yeah, it definitely caught my eye too. NVIDIA's stock plummeting like that. 17%, wasn't it? And DeepSeek's app.
No.
#1 on the App Store. That's a statement.
Definitely a statement. Feels like we're seeing the start of like a full-blown AI arms race. DeepSeek's taking on the U.S. head-on for, who's going to be the AI leader.
No doubt. It's a power play for sure.
So let's break this down for our listeners who maybe haven't been glued to the news. What exactly is DeepSeek? What did they do that's causing all this chaos?
So DeepSeek, they're this Chinese AI company, right? Founded by this guy, Wenfeng. Used to be a hedge fund manager, actually. They've been building some pretty impressive AI models, but their latest one, the R1, that's what's shaking things up.
The R1, okay. How's this different from, say, ChatGPT, which we've talked about before? What's all the fuss about?
Well, the R1, it's showing some crazy advanced reasoning abilities, like beyond anything we've seen. And get this, they managed this using NVIDIA's H800 chips. Those are way less powerful than the ones the U.S. has been trying to keep out of their hands.
So they're basically doing more with less. That's got to sting for the companies here in the U.S. pouring billions into AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's a direct challenge. Remember Trump just announced Stargate the other day, that huge $500 billion AI initiative? That was supposed to be our answer to China, our way to stay ahead in the game.
Right. And it's all privately funded, too, right? SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, MGX, they're all chipping in. MGX being the microchip manufacturer, by the way.
Yep, exactly. And Trump's been all about clearing the way, speeding up approvals, cutting regulations, even revoked Biden's executive order on AI regulation, all to make sure the U.S. stays on top.
Talk about going all in. Shows you how serious they're taking this, but then DeepSeek just drops this bomb.
Yeah, the timing is interesting. Some experts, like Gregory Allen, think they did this on purpose. Timed their R1 reveal to coincide with Stargate, a direct countermove.
Like they're saying, oh, you want to play rough, game on.
Exactly. And here's the real kicker. They made their R1 model open source. Anyone can access it, modify it. It's out there.
Whoa, okay. That changes everything. What does that even mean for the U.S. trying to stay in control of like how AI develops?
Well, it completely changes the game. Imagine startups all over the world who maybe couldn't afford the big leagues before. Now they've got access to this powerful tech. Could be an explosion of innovation, but it also raises the question, who's really in control now? The landscape just got a whole lot more complicated. It's a bold move for sure. Like, does this mean Stargate's the wrong approach, with all that money and control? Or could this open source thing be better? DeepSeek letting anyone jump in. Maybe that's how AI really takes off.
It's a good question. It's almost like two completely different mindsets, right? Stargate's got that Cold War vibe, got to beat China, got to be on top. But DeepSeek's like, hey, let's all work together.
Totally different philosophies. And it's not even just about the tech, There's economics, politics. This has global implications.
Right, because if AI is going to be this huge game changer, whoever controls it, well, they're going to have a lot of power.
No question. That's what makes this whole thing so interesting. We're not just talking about algorithms and code here. We're talking about the future of, global power. Who's going to call the shots?
Feels like some high-stakes poker, and DeepSeek just threw down a wild card.
Perfect analogy. And everyone else is trying to figure out their next move.
Speaking of, remember Elon Musk? He wasn't exactly thrilled about Stargate's funding. He even questioned whether SoftBank could actually pull it off.
Oh yeah, that whole Twitter thing. Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, he jumped right in to defend it, though. Said the funding was solid, a great deal for OpenAI.
Yeah, well, whether or not Musk's right about the money, it sounds like Stargate's moving ahead full speed. Trump's clearly determined to make this happen, even if it means going around the usual government stuff.
And that adds another layer to it, right? You've got this huge private investment, plus the government basically removing any obstacles.
It's like uncharted territory. We've never seen anything like this.
True, and that makes it hard to predict what happens next. But one thing's for sure, the AI world's changing fast, and the stakes are high.
So what happens now? Where do we go from here in this AI arms race? What's the next chapter?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like a crossroads. Like we're seeing two totally different paths for AI emerge.
I think you're right. You've got the US model focused on investment and dominance, and then you've got DeepSeek with this open source collaborative approach.
So what does this mean for the average person? Like, you and I, we might be into the tech and the politics of it all,
Yeah.
but how's this going to affect people's lives? The everyday stuff.
That's what we need to keep asking ourselves. Because the truth is, AI is already affecting your life in ways you might not even realize.
Oh, for sure. The recommendations you see online, how your social media feeds work, AI is already shaping things behind the scenes.
And it's only going to get more integrated. Self-driving cars, personalized medicine, even customer service. AI is going to be everywhere.
Exciting, but kind of scary too, right?
Absolutely. That's why it's so important to stay informed, keep up with what's going on. We need to understand the good and the bad, the potential benefits and the risks, so we can make sure AI develops in a way that benefits everyone.
It really feels like we're in this, turning point, not just for tech, but for how we think about working together, competing globally. The old ways just don't seem to apply anymore.
Yeah, it's wild and fascinating to watch. Just think, DeepSeek going open source like this, it could level the playing field like never before.
Yeah.
What if some brilliant kid in India or a group of students in Africa, they come up with some groundbreaking thing using DeepSeek's model? Innovation coming from everywhere.
It's like shifting the power,
Yeah.
away from the big companies and governments and more towards the people. That's pretty cool.
It is, and that's why we need to pay attention to all this. AI is not some sci-fi concept anymore. It's going to affect everything. And the choices being made right now by governments, companies, even us, they'll decide what that future looks like.
Okay, so let's step back for a second. Big picture. What are the key things our listeners should take away from all this?
First off, AI is changing fast. We went from this idea of the US being in the lead to this crazy, unpredictable race practically overnight.
And DeepSeek's a big part of that shift, right? Their R1 model, making it open source. That was a game changer.
No question. And that leads to the second thing, the future of AI. Totally up in the air. We've got these two totally different approaches now. The Stargate model, tons of money, lots of control. And DeepSeek's way, which is more open, more collaborative.
Like two different bets on what the future will be.
Exactly. And whichever one wins out, it'll have a huge impact, not just for tech, but for the economy, global politics, everything.
So it's not just about who builds the best AI, it's about how it's built and who gets to use it.
That's it. And that brings us to the most important thing for you listening. Stay curious, stay informed, stay involved. This isn't just something happening to us. The future of AI, it's something we're all shaping together.
One thing I keep coming back to. Remember how DeepSeek's model uses that test time scaling thing where it basically thinks out loud and uses that to learn better?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It makes me think, what if that's just the beginning? What if AI being able to reflect on its own thinking? What if that unlocks some whole new level of understanding about intelligence itself?
It's a pretty mind-blowing thought, isn't it? Shows how much we still don't know about what AI can do. It's a field full of possibilities, some exciting, some maybe a little scary.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see where all this goes. It's a pretty wild time to be alive.
I agree. And as we keep digging deeper into the AI world, I hope you'll do the same. Go check out DeepSeek's models, talk about the ethics of it all, and most importantly, never stop asking questions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the AI revolution. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those questions coming. The future's waiting for us to shape it.